Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video with your old boy Nigel here. We've got a very exciting video today. As you can see, I've donned my reading gloves, and we will be today taking a look at Flying Scotsman, a owner's workshop manual by Hans, and I'm very excited. This will obviously not be the first time I've read it, and as I'm sure will be the case with all of you as well. But we will be looking over this Heinz manual for the workshop owner. I'm sorry, I'm just very excited. So we can see here it says Flying Scotsman, LNER, Class A1/A3 Pacific 4472, 1923 and onwards. Now, this is a beauty of an engine, a beauty. Now, of course, you'll know the history of the A1 class, made famous, obviously, by the Flying Scotsman, although not the only A1 or A3 Pacific, and of course that's preceded by the incredibly fabulous and well-known A4 Pacific, all penned by Sir Nigel Gresley, no relation. Probably. So we'll start today. And we can read along. Now, this an insight into maintaining, operating, and restoring the legendary steam locomotive. Contents, yes, very well. Now, I, as you know, have read this several times. I'll just take a sip of refreshing beverage. Here we go, so we've got introduction, setting the scene, Flying Scotsman the train, from Sterling 422 to Gresley 462, number 4472, its design and development, construction, the first 40 years, 1923 to 1963, and the second 40 years, 1963 to 2003, 21st century rebirth, repairs and modifications made to number 4472 by the the National Railway Museum. I'll have to turn in my badge there, almost made a mistake there. Driving, firing, preparation and disposal. Appendices, select bibliography, a glossary of major technical terms, and an IDEX. So, and here we go. And together we will read now. Grantham, yes. Are they A4s, yes. (60103), of course. Now that's and there's an interesting distinction there with the numbers. So I'm sure we'll get to that. The 440 City of Truro. Now the City of Truro is a very interesting engine, which I'll not get into at this moment. But City of Truro has quite the fascinating history. Hmm. Yes, very good photographers. I would say, especially in this case, it really captures a certain grace and majesty to the engine. Hmm. Lovely. Now, of course, the 462. I'm not sure whether I've explained this before. The 462 is designating the wheels or bogies, depending on everything. This may be an entry to the world of locomotives. So I'll stick with the wheels for the moment. Cast your mind back. Right, so we've got you see there are two here. See, these are smaller ones. Yes. Now this is in reference to the 4. Now you may be saying, if there are 2 here, what does that have to do with the number 4? Well, I'll tell you, gentlemen, because there are also 2 on the other side, totaling 5. 4, totaling 4. Now that's right, and hence the 4. Now these, of course, are unpowered, you see? See, they've got no powered linkages. Whereas here with the Flying Scotsman, we've got 1, 2, 5, 3. We've got 3. We've got again. Now, so here we come on to the 6. You may be thinking to yourself, now I can see these 3 wheels of similar size, but I don't understand how that comes into the number 6. Well, that's all very simple, ladies and gentlemen. You see, on the other side, there are 3 more wheels, totaling 5. When 6, so we've got the 4 at the front, and the 6 powered. See, we've got all the power here, and we've got finally at the end here 2. Now you may be thinking to yourself, I can see 2 there, and you'd be right because there are, and those are unpowered. These ones, however, are not part of the same thing. There's a linkage there. So you've got 4, 6, 2, 4 unpowered, 6 powered, and 2 unpowered. Wonderful. I'm not sure it's the most famous. Of course, there is the aforementioned city of Tyrone, which doesn't get as much love as it deserves. But I think the Tornado and other of the A4s, I think really have to be well, the Mallard has to be probably one of the most famous rail trains, of course. However, when we come to steam locomotives, of course, you may be saying, but the Orient Express is surely the most famous steam locomotive. However, there have been many such locomotives to carry the name, whereas we've got here we've got the Flying Scotsman, and there's not some other one that's also called Flying Scotsman or took over the mantle. No, these were very different things, sometimes not operated by the same company. So what we've got here is a very famous engine. However, of course, the Mallard, very famously, we've got of course we've got the Tornado, which I've mentioned again, I mean, you can see as a man. So I'll just carry on. I'll stop interrupting your reading. In Scotland, that's important. There we go. Two million miles. That is an achievement, especially for an engine of this type. Now, you may maybe think to yourself, there are many locomotives, DMUs and EMUs, which accrue such numbers. But however, the real stunning thing here is these steam engines had a fantastic number of moving parts, usually a ballet of steel and oil and steam, whereas DMUs and especially EMUs have far less, or far fewer rather, moving parts. A huge amount more parts and made with a lot less sophisticated machinery at the time, whereas the modern electric pantograph has the power supplied over from the pantograph, and you really don't need that many moving parts to get it moving. You have the electricity going in and running an electric motor. Now, electric motors are fantastically efficient, of course. However, there will always be a certain appeal to a steam engine, of course. And they had character, and sometimes that character is characterised as unreliability. But as we can see, with 2 million miles, that is fantastic. And I'm not saying I was with merely one component, and I don't want to put down electric single units. They're very good. They're very good. I'm, as you know, a great fan of all kinds of locomotives and trains and rolling stock and so on. But we do have to appreciate the level of delicacy that they were able to maintain for such a long amount of time. It is truly wonderful. I'll stop interrupting your reading now, and I'll come back. 4475 Flying Fox. Now, of course, that Headlock. Well, no, I feel like I've covered that. Mm. Of course, high pressure boilers. There are these many of the most iconic designs are run at comparatively low pressures compared to what can be achieved. However, we've learned time and time again rather, that very high steam pressures does improve our torque and traction, but really not to the extents that would really mandate bringing the huge expense incurred and development and building and maintenance of these high pressure boilers. They rarely had much more utility than their contemporaries with standard boilers. So it really, you always think it'll help, more power is always better, but we don't see that all the time, ladies and gentlemen. Mm. Now, this is an interesting point. Now, the identity of a locomotive, I think, really comes down less from the engineers and the operators of a locomotive, but really have some feeling from the riders, the passengers, the crew, the paying customers, the general public that really bring to us. As you can see, there were many changes to the Flying Scotsman, and in some respects, surely as soon as you've replaced one major component, it's not the same engine. However, there is a certain unique spirit which we approach, especially steam locomotives. Whereas with a car, say, if something goes wrong with a car, we will either repair it cheaply or scrap it, and we don't have that exclusivity. We don't go, now there is the Triumph Dolomite. There are Dolomites. It's not the or the Triumph Dolomite, you say. So whilst it's the Dolomite is very modern and very pleasant, I don't think it has the same appeal. It has a certain mass marketability, I assume. But will the Triumph Dolomite go on to go over 200 million miles? I don't think so. We'll see how we go. I know British Leyland may be struggling at the moment, but I'm sure we'll have faith with that. Anyway, we don't recommission our cars these same ways, and if you give a name to your car, you're often derided and ostracised, quite rightly, because you're a fool if you do. Whereas the spirit of forgiveness and of romance that we give to these engines really speaks to something both within us and within these engines. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this first episode of reading this book, this Hayarns manual. I do hope you come back to us for another episode, and toodle, bye.